Let's be honest here. Life is about relationships. Everything we do as people revolves around each other. But whether you are a husband, single dad, or a couple facing new challenges, life is not easy. Did you know that having a successful and uncomplicated relationship is not a matter of luck? It requires the ability to be open, honest, and vulnerable. But where do you learn how to do that? It's time you tune into You've Got Mail, Messages from Him, a unique radio show geared toward the Black male perspective of family, relationships, and community. I'm your host, TaShon, a certified relationship coach who brings a relaxed and unbiased perspective to issues such as communication, trust, breakups, divorce, and more. I know how to listen and understand. So tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to You've Got Mail, Messages from Him, and prepare to be educated, entertained, and enlightened.
WSTN DB HD1, Atlanta, Charlotte, the Situations Media Station. Time for some conversations about Black men, for Black men, with Black men. Messages from Him with TaShon and Friends on 102.6 The Situation.
Saturday mornings I'm tuned in. Listening to TaShon, she be going in, y'all. Black queen for us black kings. We can learn a thing or two when we're locked in. One of the few places we can be heard. Facts, man, I rocks with her, that's my word. The show is enlightening, engagement always enticing. I always come with an open mind, I'm never frightened, y'all. Guaranteed to walk your way from in the rules. Now that I'm thinking everything else is minuscule. We're the fools who don't protect black women. No argument, this respect, and that's it, y'all. Please come in peace when you call in, cause the friends ain't no slouch fair going in. You got mail messages from him. Y'all better listen if you wanna win in life, y'all. You wanna win in life, tune in to TaShon and Friends. You got mail messages from him, Yeah, you've got mail messages from him, 10 a.m. to noon, Saturday. Tune in. Yeah. You've got mail messages from him.
What's up? It is your girl, TaShon. The mail room. I gotta get used to that. The mail room. What's about the mail room?
The mail room. Welcome.
The bigger the pill. They're going to Mac 10. No. Hey, and more words. Hey, this really slick. This really slick. Can you expound on who Willie Slick is? You're from the West Coast.
I don't know.
You're from the West Coast.
Really?
Come on, man. Don't be no Mark. Come on. You from the LA. Don't be no Mark like that. Come on, niece, because we can't call you nephew. Come on now.
First of all, I was a bougie South Central LA girl.
But you still who you want to bang with?
I was a bougie South Central LA girl.
But who you hung out with?
I mean, it was a given. I mean, I didn't.
All bougie girls wanted to hang out in the hood. Hey, that you were from South Central.
I was from South Central.
That'd be the best cars to get the bar. You know what? Hey, the real Boston always borrow the car and be gone for like 4 hours.
I mean, bougie girl, South Central in the hood,
but you hang out. Place. But who did? With guys? Don't be a menace.
With guys?
Yes.
My dad.
Which ones? The bougie girls wanted the gas.
My dad made it an announcement because we were the only two girls on the block, like literally on the block. So they protected us. The guys on our block protected us, and I'm not gonna say which color, but it was the main color.
But they was hardcore,
and they protected us. Like it was Crip territory. They protected us. They would not let anything.
She didn't say the color, but she said.
I mean, sure.
She told the territory.
It ain't no secret, sure.
I mean, she just doubled back like 2 seconds later.
I did.
I'm not going to say the color, but there was Crip territory.
I went
back in the day
I went
when
to
I
a
was
school
young.
that was the opposite. Yeah. So I
had to be protected, literally, like the fellas protected us. And my dad made it clear, this is my family outside of this perimeter. Inside of this perimeter, this is my family. Don't mess with my kids. Yeah. And they respected Joe Collier, and we never had any problem. Like, if anything, when we had to walk to the corner store or anything, the guys, no lie, they would make sure we got there and got back. Like, it was so super duper. We were the bougie.
When Joe Collier, here's the thing, when Joe Collier spoke, everybody listened. The entire listen.
You gotta be honest. Gangs were not meant for what people think of them now. They were actually organized organizations for neighborhood protection.
Right, exactly.
Like literally and it was no different than what my grandmother and them. They all sat on their porch. Yeah. And all you saw was them heads doing there.
Yeah. What's up, my Ghana family? All the way from Ghana, y'all.
I told you we got Ghana listeners. Yeah, they be tuning in. They be in deep in the afternoon in Ghana. Shout out to our Ghana listeners. The mail room.
The mail room. Welcome, y'all. So yeah, I mean, it was like that in South Central LA. We had it. We got down though. It
wasn't. I might need security. She had a whole neighborhood of security. Because Joe Collier, when he spoke, the whole hood listened. Yeah, they were respected. Yeah, that's fine.
We had older people in the neighborhood too, so they respected the older people or whatever. It was still gang shootings, and I got PTSD now when I hear a gunshot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like we had to sleep on the floor many nights. That gang life is real. Yeah, LAPD is real, coming through your neighborhood and this, that, and other. This is real. That stuff on Boys on the Hood, it was real. Where
they just hemmed you up for no reason, just because. A lot of those times. Yeah. The stuff that we saw in the street.
Like, it was definitely,
So y'all would be in the living room?
Man.
He done swung and yanked the whole headphones out. He didn't yank the headphones out today, but yeah.
We'd be in the living room, be like, my mom would be like, get in the room, on the floor. We'll let you know when it's time to get up.
That was a real emergency alert system.
Y'all had a real life big boy in your neighborhood.
Yeah, we had one of them too. In fact, one of the guys who reached out to me, he was like, "Hey T, this is such and such from 51st Place." He was like, from way back in the day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, people found me," because I've been trying to find,
Wait, why do you say that? Wow, it's like, oh my God, they found me.
First of all, from that West Coast, cuz. Get lost, cuz.
West Coast.
Don't mess with Trinette.
West Coast, though. I miss California. I miss LA. I miss the people in the beach. Yeah. The reason why, because they had that flavor. Like, people always be like, California people are so cool. Yeah, we are cool. I didn't get stressed until I got here and work. Like, working. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. I love Atlanta. No. I'm saying I love Atlanta.
LA.
No, but
a whole lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
That's stress free.
Yeah,
living on the streets.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's a different brand. That's a different. I'm saying, like, when when in LA, you live your life, right? You live your life. You ain't got to worry about who's who, and everybody is.
I understand it's carefree, but do you know that there are people there that are living homeless?
Well, yeah, that's because
refusing to leave California.
Yeah, shoot. California's the place.
I'm gonna live on the street. I'm stress free on the sidewalk, y'all. All the breeze got me comfortable.
The only reason I didn't go back after college was because the cost of living is.
And that's the thing I don't understand. Like, people, even with, like, literally, with the cost of living being that high, they would rather live in shelters than leave LA County.
Oh, there you go with that leave. There you go with that leave again.
Hey, you gotta have love for. I don't know why.
If you got one brown shoe and one black shoe, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, you on the sidewalk, you need to leave.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but shoot, Atlanta it's about becoming another mini LA. Everybody
and
apology.
I love California. I really do miss my people there.
What's the biggest thing you miss about California?
Like the culture, the flavor. Like, everybody is somebody in a sense. If that makes any sense, it's like you can wear jeans and a fur coat and you're cool, like you good. You don't have to prove to anybody. You know what I'm saying? When you come to cities like Atlanta, like when we first got here to Atlanta, it was like everybody trying to prove themselves. And even now people say, and I'm just laid back. I'm like, entertainers, all of that stuff. We've been around. Like you know, I think the culture and the mentality is different. And then the beach, like we would spend holidays on the beach, or like you just go after school to the beach just to chill.
Boy, just after school to the beach, boy, that's something else right there.
We used to live on the beach.
Just go after school. Just go to the beach after school.
We used to live on the beach. Like, and the LaVelma said a beautiful scenery. It is. It's like, she said I had the opportunity to live the best life at the expense of the military. Yeah, like California is, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. And if you're a person that wants to live there and just, hey, let me do my thing, enjoy my life, you know, this, that, and another. Don't get me wrong, it has its issues, like every other state and city. It has its issues. But overall, the ambiance is just laid back. Because even my coworkers who are from Cali, we all lay back. Like, and people say it all the time, they go to Cali crew. It's like you lay back.
It's the New York people.
But the New Yorkers, God, I love my New Yorkers.
Try saying that when our guests come on.
I'm about to bring them on. They're backstage. I can't. But you know what?
They coming on this early?
Yeah, because we got a lot to talk about. But it was funny because my New York crew, they were the opposite, and they were protective of me. Like my New York crew, my friends, they'd be like, "Yo, why you letting such and such talk to you?" Like, I'm like, I'm cool. Like they I'm like, no, I'm good. Like what we okay.
They be doing you like Sofia Vergara in what's the Beat the Browns.
But they will always protect me. They will always protect me. Like I never had any problems with anybody because I mean again that's the beauty of California because you live around a lot of people, different cultures, or whatever you learn. Yeah, it is a melting pot in a sense. And then by me being able to live across the world and all that, I'm just that type of person. I love everybody. I do. Kumbaya moment.
Oh, you love me. We're a happy
family.
Is he really going to sing this like Ben Marine? Is he singing like Nat King Cole? That's the Nat King Cole version.
Hey, it's the holiday. It's the holiday.
See, I told you my girl from New York. She said we'd be ready to pounce on people.
New York, calm down.
No, but have the most calm demeanor.
Johnny, Brooklyn,
New York, calm down. You know what I'm saying?
I love them. I love them.
Your son is a really real son.
Loosen up your Timbs, yo. Butters. Loosen up your butters. It's not like that this morning.
I love them. And it was funny. It was always the opposite. You know, you could tell that Cali, you could tell that New York crew. It's like, we all cool. Yeah, but
you got them folks from down south.
Down south.
They just sit there and look at it.
And they be like, bless their hearts. Bless their little hearts.
Lord Jesus bless.
That one auntie. That one auntie, bless they heart.
But you notice nobody say too much to them. No, they don't.
What's up, Lisa?
They don't say too much because if they go over the line.
See, you go over the line.
I done told you, baby.
But I love my southern roots too. I love it. When I came to Atlanta, I love it.
Absolutely.
I love my Atlanta. I would not trade it for anything in the world. Yeah. So I got the best of both cities. I mean, Olympic cities, major cities, Hollywood city. Literally, like I moved from
Hollywood right now.
Yeah, I moved from one Hollywood to the next one. You know, I've always been surrounded by greatness in both cities.
Absolutely.
So,
as well you should be because you're great yourself. Come on. I'm sure all of our listeners and everybody around can agree. Even your students can agree.
Thank you, because y'all already know what's coming up today. It's the last day of what month that's coming up.
Here we go.
Y'all ain't have my intro music or nothing.
There's no intro.
Birthday.
There's no intro music. We got sound effects for you.
Where was the sound effect? There you go. Breaking glass. Because November. I started day one.
You start day one?
What'd you say? October. Today's the last day of October.
Well, tomorrow technically.
Well, yeah, tomorrow's technically. So y'all got one more day.
Like a reservation that's about to end.
That's right, sis. Here we go. November ready. November.
Yes.
50th year November for me.
50-50 club is for you.
Oh, trust me. We
50.
50-50 chance for you.
I had a meltdown last week, but then I'm gonna tell you, I did good. I remember what you said.
Did you do it, Danny Green? You had a meltdown.
I did. I'm like, I'm ready.
You didn't seen the movie before.
I know. I'm like, I'm ready.
You know, people in it, the credit.
What did you say? No, it is. Sagittarius season. It's November.
I should have known. I didn't even have to look to know. It was either Ghost that said that or Sonya that said that. And I looked at the comments and I know who it is.
She's not gonna let you be great, sis, and celebrate you all month. That's right, all month. And then I'm gonna do like one of my brown eyes says, I'm gonna celebrate the entire year, really. Yeah.
The entire 50-50 for the 50-50 club?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to do something every quarter, and you got to be
Ashley.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Plane or nothing like that, y'all.
She's not gonna land a helicopter on campus.
That's right. One more day.
Bungee jumping.
That ain't living my best life. Oh, shoot.
AT, you heard me?
How a fair come in town and all of a sudden you gonna hang from a rope?
I'm not trying to live my best life jumping from the plane. I'm sorry.
Well, let alone she's not going to land a helicopter on campus neither. But that's another story.
Take the helicopter down. I think you might. Y'all.
I don't know, Shani. I don't know if I'm having a party yet. My plans changed. But if I do something, it'll be. I'll let y'all know. I want to go to a club with some nice dancing music. I need to dance.
Yo, Sonya Savage though. Look at the comment though.
Don't make me pull up. I know.
She's savage.
I'm about to bring in my girls from New York.
Are they going on already? We're not going. We gonna do what's going on later?
Yeah, we do what's going on later. Okay. I need to bring them on. What's going on,
guys? Ladies, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good.
New York City.
New York City.
So they can talk.
Got my brothers on for you. Got my brothers on. And did 12 push-ups outside on the street like you heard.
They are Okay, they coming.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Look, add you in. We just gonna sit there and talk. I just needed to add y'all on it because we about to just talk, just chat, just chat. Because it's November.
Oh, here we go. Back into it.
You had me out here.
The holiday season.
You had me out here talking about 50, and I nearly fell out my chair.
Yes, girl. Yes, I will be 50. I can't even believe it half the time. I'm like, me and my brothers, we were talking, and so my brothers, I had 3 of them, so they're younger, right? I am the oldest. And they said, dude, you'll be 50. I know. And they were like, we were all sitting there calculating, like, we were just 18, and you were like 20-something. I said, I know. Right. Like, we're grown now. Like, we're grown. So,
And sometimes they won't do this.
It's like, I'm like, thank you, darling. Thank you.
And see, we've been on her about not panicking.
I know, because I'm not gonna lie. I've been asking people around, like, is this normal? Like the other day at school, I started hyperventilating again. I was like, oh my God, I am teaching the grandkids now. Like I'm teaching, like.
But you act like it's an expiration date or something. Right. You like expire. Put me on discount.
Clearance rate.
56.
They're gonna call you clearance.
You're gonna be sitting over in the corner by yourself on a shelf waiting for somebody.
The impulse buying section.
Nobody told me about this part of the journey. Like,
right?
Exactly. But ain't nobody told me about this part of the journey.
It's an open book test. You know the answers.
I mean, I do. Like now, I'm like,
guess what? You get to write the rest.
I do. I'm feeling good about it. It's just.
No, you'll feel even better when you get them flowers as you continue on your journey.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's
I just want my gifts. I think I may do something different this year, like put my Cash App on. Got them out, bang them out. I think I might do like everybody else doing. Put a Cash App up there.
And for a small donation, she'll pop on there with a karaoke song just for you.
Be like everybody else. Everybody been asking about my cash. Ain't nobody ask you about your Cash App. You just want to. But I'm I don't know.
Cash App like a logo.
Right.
Right.
I might do that this year.
She gonna have it in the corner of her logo right on the TV screen. Right there you go.
Me. Sure. No,
it's just gonna say Cash App. It ain't even gonna say the mailroom that week. It's just gonna flash mailroom, Cash App.
Send me my money. Send me my money. Because y'all always do good.
Drop it in. Send us some alerts.
Drop it in the bucket, cuz.
We appreciate you.
We thought about that too. Let's put our cash. Let's do something bold this year. Because her birthday November 2. We're going to put our Cash App up. Let's get talked about. Thank you, Lisa.
We appreciate the Monday jingles, but we'd rather have that fold. ladies. Well, you got 3 boxes.
And you sell it back, got your groove back. That's right. I did get my groove back. I got it back. Now, I'm going to have to do like Zeta. Wait, which one of y'all were winding and twisting on the reels the other day?
Wait, what?
I'm talking about getting the groove back.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Winding and twisting?
That wasn't one of y'all. Wait, what? No, somebody was. They were showing me how to get my groove back.
What are you following?
You know what? I'm like I be trying to do everything because y'all know I don't twerk, right? That ain't no.
Oh Lord!
I can't twerk.
I need to drop one to that one.
I can do the hydraulics though. Y'all put some loop on. I'm like, yeah, that's what that is. Yeah. Got it. That twerking, I cannot get twerking.
I'm sorry, I had to come into the camera for that one.
Really? But you a step away though.
I cannot twerk.
You on the porch, take one step down.
I do, but that looks so crazy. I try to hold my horse.
Take one step down and you twerking.
I tried to twerk for a chef one day. He just sat there. He was like, dude, forget it. Just stop. I was like,
Yo, chef.
He was like, go back to the other. He was like, go back to the other dance. He was like, you're not doing it. Why you trying to be? I'm like,
I forgot what was on, and I kind of thought that my wife kind of got a hint of what was going on.
Right.
She was playing like 80s music. And so she was in the kitchen and and I passed by and she started twerking. And then my son walked in. He was like, oh, you guys make the queen. Hey.
Hey, you want me to while we have a second, can I do these sponsor shout outs real quick?
Yeah, real quick, and I'm gonna introduce my girl from New York
City. Let's go, let's go. Let me get some horns. Yeah, let's get it. And look, listen, and while we getting it, you got to make sure you check out Chef Green of Jolly Foods Private Chef Services. And by the way, he got the best smoothies in town, and I need him to pull up with some in short order. But it's all good. But if you want to connect with him, you want to do this. You want to go ahead and hit him up. 216-301-0513 or follow on Instagram at Carl D.A. Chef. Carl the Chef. You definitely want to hit him up because
I tell you the boy can cook. The boy can cook.
I don't cook no more.
He might have his own movie soon too.
I don't cook.
With TaShon on it. But anyway,
she don't fry no chicken.
I don't do nothing no more. She's
gonna have a crown on her head, and she's gonna be with $1,000, $1 million bill going on here.
That's the downfall of man.
Chef got his own. But anyway, also. The Plush Lab, you know, Janice is our sister. She's no stranger to the mailroom, no stranger to the station. And the nation needs to know that the Plush Lab is where it's at. Yes. Visit the Plush Lab for full body waxing services, facials, and more. Don't call her.
Don't call her.
Don't call her phone.
Book her services. Don't call her.
You can send a text, but don't call her phone. Okay? She means that. But means that in the sweetest, kindest way. But you also want to visit www.theplushlab.com. Once again, www.theplushlab.com. And if you want to text, just text 678-383-7572. TaShon, you got it.
All right. Thank you so much, The Green Machine.
Yeah.
He's such a professional voice, that voice.
Don't you start.
Yeah, I'm not going to start with you today.
Such a talented young man.
Such a talented sugar baby he is.
But listen, I I got my special guest, and let me tell y'all first of all, before I read their intro, these women, and I fell in love with them probably, I can't even remember when I started following you guys, but I think I saw one of the reels and whatnot, and I was like, who are these young ladies? Like the flavor, the hair, all of
I seen one fixing her hair just a minute ago. I was like, you don't need no fix. Don't fix your hair. No, you don't need to do that. Y'all good.
And I connected with them, you know, when you comment and whatnot, and they responded and so forth. And I had started following them. And these ladies started following me. And, you know, I always do things out of sincerity. Like if I like your content, I like it. You know, I don't try to get brownie points or whatever. If I like it, I like it.
Absolutely.
But I fell in love with them because number one, they started supporting me without a doubt. Like when I tell you just the love, just the genuine love that they have shown me since they've been following me or whatnot, it's just been genuine. And I just love their content, y'all. Wait a minute, let me read this, because when I tell y'all, if y'all not following these women, y'all are missing out. Like they got, oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. About Mama's Cocktail Hour, a podcast created in October 2020, is a network of 4 incredible women, all of whom add invaluable and impressionable knowledge in our respective areas of interest. We preach strength, confidence, and individual. I can't talk today. I'm excited. Okay. You know, people love to say, but you're a teacher. I don't care. I'm on Saturday. Hold on. Let me see. Individuality on all social media platforms. They're moms, mental health warriors, encouragers of female empowerment, and advocates of self-discovery. We discuss culture, relationships, sex, purpose, and so much more. We're all on a journey of finding and fulfilling our purpose and hope to enlighten all that follow us to do the same. Please help me welcome the ladies of Mama's Cocktail Hour, which is now Mama's Network, right?
Yes.
So welcome, ladies. Yes. When I tell y'all, I love the content. And I'm going to let them talk more about new content they have, because I think y'all are bringing out new shows and whatnot. I just love them. Y'all are doing it. I am super proud of y'all. First of all, I mean, congratulations. Continue doing it. If nothing else, continue doing it, like I always tell you, because we need to see more female podcasters. We need to see more female women of color podcasters. And we need to see the real. People want to see the real. And y'all bring the real. You know what I'm saying? And I just love it. So once you introduce each one of you introduce yourselves, and let's get this party started. Because, you know, they New Yorkers. They New Yorkers. I ain't want the bamboo earrings. I want a earrings. They put me in the mood. I got my bamboo at home. You know, I got my other.
She around the way, girl. I
got my LL in there.
So earrings, at least 2 pairs.
I love it.
She be West Coasting.
I be West Coast, East Coast. What?
West Coast, East Coasting.
What?
And a drive-through in the South.
She's the only one. TaShon is the only one I know that go from hard cuz to go B in a minute.
And to how you doing, darling?
You got a pair of butters?
I had a pair. I just couldn't walk in them right. I swear, I had a pair of Tim's. I could not walk in the right.
Oh,
I couldn't. I did, Johnny. I had a pair of Tim's. You know what? It got to be because I had a pair of cute Tim's. I just could not.
What's the problem? They were too heavy?
Yeah, they were. They were heavy. They were heavy. I was like, good Lord. I'm just going to school. Wow. Because I had this cute outfit for Friday. We could wear jeans, and I had a little cute sweatshirt, and I had, teacher sweatshirt and my Tim's. Now I took them on off, put on my Crocs.
You felt like you was in the band.
But remember, all women do that. They slip a pair in the purse.
I'm gonna put them Crocs on real quick.
Not Crocs. They get a little slip-on shit.
Slip-ons. Yes. So what's going on, ladies? Look, who want to start? Tell us about who you are and what you do.
I'll start. My name is Zeta Lisa.
Yeah, Zeta.
I am one of the creators of Mama's Cocktail Hour. And I want to say one because they like to say me, but I would be nowhere without these ladies. They each have made this brand what it is today. And it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just two people. It was all of us collectively.
Wow.
And we started this not knowing shit about these Instagram streets.
Kick us! Be careful! Be careful!
Sorry.
She almost let that slip through. Good.
Okay, I know.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
None of these Instagram streets about me.
I'm telling you.
That's the only stipulation. Yeah. We don't have one of them beeps.
No worries.
No, we would have been in time. We ain't got 5 second delay.
It's the New York. That's how we express ourselves.
That's that expression at New York.
You got the accent going. See, I'm from. I mean, it was the emotion. Woo!
So,
but I thought that.
Like I said, the real comes out. It comes out unfiltered. But my bad.
No, you're good.
Eli Meaning. No, I'm just about to.
Like I said, we started not knowing anything, and it started as a podcast, but then it just has evolved to something different. Okay. And my name is Zeta Lisa. I'm a mom. I'm a professional. I'm a podcaster. And now I'm just kind of walking towards my purpose with these ladies that we have here on this podcast.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
That is dope. That's dope. Next.
I guess I'll go. I'm Elise Nicole. I made the crazy decision of hopping on the Zeta Lisa train and joining Mama's Cocktail Hour when it was in its infancy. And it's expanded in a way that none of us knew that it would.
Yeah.
And there's still so much growth to be had, but we're on this journey together, trying to figure out how we want to move Mama's Cocktail Hour, how we want to transition it from Mama's Cocktail Hour to Mama's Cocktail Hour Network.
Yeah.
And expanding it and finding ourselves and what it is that we love to do so that we can go ahead and share it with everybody else. And it's been this great, incredible journey of us finding ourselves, and not only ourselves, but being with other groups of ladies in a situation that it's no longer kind of like a high school petty girl mentality. Because you know what happens when you get all these girls together, typically back in the day, it would be like, oh, you're with a whole bunch of girls, things are about to get catty. But no, we're modern day mamas, like we love to say, and we're finding our purpose. We're trying to balance being moms and professionals and podcasters and, you know, the whole hyper used word of influencers. So we're all a part of this. I'm loving seeing what we're doing. I'm loving what's coming out of myself and the way how I'm able to express my own self through all of this creatively. And it's, you know, it's a good time. Hey, we're here with you guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I love it. Jazz.
Jazz with the curlies.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jazz. I love to say that I am a proud member of Mama's Cocktail Hour. I came on towards a little bit after the conception of Mama's, and basically I am your resident mental health advocate, very faith-based. Basically, Mama's Cocktail Hour has given me an opportunity to speak on certain issues and topics that I find very important. I think that, you know, a lot of people go on Instagram and they're looking for like a lot of fake stuff, but there's also a lot of people, especially because of what happened last year, they're looking for a lot of real. and we're able to speak real topics. I'm all about giving my real experiences. I love to raise awareness. I love to show that relationships, real healthy, productive relationships can happen with women of a certain age. To show that, yes, we are moms, but we're also much more. To question the cultural norms that, we grew up Latina, that we don't have to be a certain way. This has become so much more. And in doing that, we realize that there's a lot of women out there who are going through the same struggles, and we've been able to connect. So what started out as a podcast has turned into something so much more, not only for ourselves collectively as a foursome, but also for the people who follow us. And it's been amazing. Like, we met Trinette, and I think Trinette is so dope. She already knows.
She's so amazing.
Keep it coming. Come on.
Keep coming.
No, I love it. And then you have with Nancy.
Yes.
Okay.
And she does, and Nancy is our digital creator, and she does all of our content that you guys see, like all the pretty flyers that we put up and all the promotions. She is really the back end of that, and she's actually
hey girl, she's on IG. Hey Nancy.
And actually, Nancy just had something really traumatic happen in her family. She lost her mother. And
prayers and condolences.
And I'm telling you, like those like 2 months that she wasn't here, us trying to kind of fill that void. That's why, like, I made it a point to say, like, we all are bringing something to the table. It is not one person here, because without our missing link, we were like putting together half-assed stuff. We were like really struggling, and just to say we appreciate her so much. And she herself is actually looking to transition into more of a frontline role, where she's going to be bringing a series called For the Culture. And this is where she brings her Hispanic culture into the mix, and some of the things that we tend to lose generationally because we don't adapt those same type of cultural things into our families now. We were just joking about the whole cooking thing, right? But cooking and food is so important in Black and brown families. We surround ourselves with food. You guys have like Sunday dinners. We have Sunday dinners. We have birthday dinners. Food is so important. But what happens is, generationally, like for instance, my mother came here Puerto Rican to New York City, and she didn't want to teach her kids Spanish because she wanted us to assimilate. She didn't want us to be different, so she didn't teach us Spanish. So now, and it's so crazy when I meet these women who are all my age, and we kind of still all have the same thing. We don't speak Spanish, and it's because our parents didn't want us to seem different. They didn't want us
We
to
understand.
We understand.
Okay. Right. She said, let me make it clear. So if y'all want to talk mess,
yes, we understand.
No,
that's interesting.
But that's the same though for a lot of Black cultures. Like they didn't want to teach their kids how to speak French and Geechee because they wanted them to speak English first.
Right.
And so they understood, but couldn't speak it.
Right.
They understood everything.
Right. Exactly.
In detail.
Right.
Right.
I love that. I love the connection. Now, I was reading, you all started this in the midst of the pandemic.
Yes, ma'am.
In the pandemic.
Wow.
How challenging was that? Because we were all going through it, being isolated. I don't know. I know New York you all were really dealing with the city shutdown and whatnot. Atlanta, of course, we still open. We shut down for about weeks. And everybody about to lose their mind and we back open. But But we had lemon pepper. And we're like, oh my gosh. But y'all started literally in the middle of the pandemic. How was that? Like, where did the creation come from? Like you all were just sitting around and saying, okay, look, we got to do something. Or how was it birthed? Because when I tell you that this network your network. Somebody, Erica said, how can we connect with moms? We're going to make sure to put their information up because people want to connect with you all. Because again, like I stated before, you're women of color, you're women in this field, and they want to hear the realness. People are tired of the whole Instagram BS.
Yes,
boy, she held that one there.
Making a big, especially among women, and
people are being exposed.
Yeah, people are being exposed.
If you're living your best life online and it's all false,
right?
I mean, people are at home.
People tired of feeling bad about themselves. Like a lot of people go to Instagram and they feel bad because they think like they're missing out, or this is the way their life is supposed to be. We, on the other hand, are like, no, this is the real. We have good days, we have bad days, we have fun days, and people connect with that because they feel that connection.
Right, exactly. So how was it birthed during the pandemic? Like, what were the crazy thoughts?
I think the pandemic gave us one thing. We can all agree on one thing. The pandemic gave us time to reflect.
Yes.
There was a lot of time that I myself, as a mom, as a working mom, as a professional, I never had to myself.
Okay.
We transitioned to work from home. I was always accustomed for like 10 or 15 years traveling into New York City, and I live in New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm a commuter. I commute 2 hours there, 2 hours, like an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. So that was my life. And I went to school in communications out in Long Island. It was my major in college, and I foresaw one day being a VJ, one day being on a radio show, doing something like how amazing like you guys are doing. So shout out to that. I am so inspired by your platform.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, like, there was like a huge time where I was like, yeah, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to be in my field. And it was during the pandemic that my husband and I started to really like indulge and speak and vibe on a different level. And it was like, he was like, yo, what do you really want to do with your life? Because your personality, people need to see that. And I was so scared because for the longest time I was a big girl, y'all. Like I was 280 pounds at one time, and I was so insecure. But this person that you see, this lively, I've always been this person, make people laugh. So, but I hid myself for so long because of my weight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you shouldn't have had to do that. It's like, I mean, I'm glad that you stepped out of your shell because, with your energy is what, what people see, not what your buildup is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but definitely shout out to you for doing that because it took a lot and it was a big step for you to do that. It had to be.
Yeah.
It was something I always struggle with because I've always been the type of girl that struggled with weight, even when I was younger. But the difference is when you're younger, it's easier to come off.
Yeah.
I was very active. I played college and high school ball. So I was always able to keep it off, and then it went to all the right places. But then you get older and it don't go to the right places no more. Now it's on your chin. Now it's in your arm.
You know.
We know.
We don't salute to that. We don't see that. I was not expecting that.
We don't see that though.
Instagram will make you feel like you got to go to them doctors to get everything cut off. You be like, good Lord.
That's a shame though, because the average woman is full figure.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's something we've all actually struggled with in the video on coming onto Instagram. Because we're now in our 30s, you know what I'm saying? We don't look like how we looked like before. And when we were coming,
y'all have been able to tell.
I'm about to be 40. So,
girl. If you don't stop it,
it was a different way. I'm like, be quiet. Over here watching.
Looks good.
But you know what though? It's like we always say, we're looking more younger, more
vibrant.
Enjoy getting
exactly.
Yeah, that way.
You can just say whatever you feel.
Yeah. And you know what? And somebody did ask like before, like, because this is a male show, the male room, we were around the male perspective, and they wanted to know, well, why do you have female guests? I said, well, one, because these women are showing a balance of, they have relationships with their men.
Right.
And this is the purpose of the show, is to show that women too can have their careers and their endeavors, and they also have men to back them up, to support them and push them. And I know that you all have, you're all married?
Yes.
So how is that? I may have been jumping over, but I want us to talk about that as well, like the support that you get from your husband and doing this platform, because believe it or not, you have a lot of husbands that don't support.
Oh my goodness.
And I am very blessed. Y'all know I always talk about Chef. I'm very blessed to have. We have our intense moments of fellowship, just like any other couple. Intense moments of fellowship. You know,
sometimes somebody way to put it though. Sometimes you gotta baptize when you know. It gets to the point where you try to apologize real quick. When you try to apologize the next morning, you be like, "Babe, is the stove still in the kitchen?" That's how you break the ice. You know, when you is the stove still in the kitchen?
Is the refrigerator still cold?
Is the refrigerator still cold?
Is the freezer still freezing?
That's how you break that ice or that intense moment of fellowship.
You know what? If it ain't, I'm gonna fix it.
Right.
It's the salt and pepper still in the
You asking dumb questions. But I can always say that God blessed me with a supportive husband and so forth. So what about you all on this journey? You started the podcast in the midst of a pandemic. You're connecting with each other. So it's almost you had in the eye, you may have had all these odds against you in doing this, because again, you had this bigger vision. This wasn't like, oh, we're just going to sit in front of the mic and talk. But out of all of this, you have relationships, you have families that you're holding down as well. How is that?
Difficult.
At times, it's difficult. It's very difficult, and it's like what you said. Like, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing if we didn't have a supportive partner. Like, I can say all of us are blessed. Like, we're regular relationships. Like, we have our issues, but I can speak for myself. Yeah. My husband has been super, super supportive, encouraging, giving me ideas. Motivating me when I was feeling down, or when I really I'm being too hard on myself. He really supports not only myself but all the ladies. Like, he thinks what we're doing is dope. He thinks it's bold, and he's not the type of man to be like insecure because I'm stepping out there like that. He has faith in me and our relationship. He knows that I'm passionate about my message and being part of this group. And I think he gets a kick out of seeing his girl doing her thing. You know? It's not like I'm on there shaking my butt, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's women empowerment. And honestly, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do it without him, because there are a lot of women who have men who don't want to support them, which I don't understand, because your other half, that's your partner in crime, that's your best friend. You're supposed to make it, you're supposed to figure it out. But we've also had to learn how to slow it down, because we're so passionate sometimes with mamas that we get laser focused. And so we had to learn how to give a little to everything, because we were burning ourselves out. And we're still moms and wives at the end of the day, and we still have jobs to feed our family. So we've all gotten to some point where we've experienced burnout, and we had to kind of regroup and kind of figure out a balance. But
I'm glad to hear you
our husbands and our support system, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I think that's what I'm going through now. Is that because you find yourself as a woman, you're trying to fulfill your goals, your dreams, and all of that. And then I remember something my mom used to tell me. She was like, "But you still got a husband. You still gotta take care of home." And I'm like, I got it. And then I'm learning from my first marriage, it's like, okay, let me slow down.
You can't put all it on you, because as a husband, I got to make sure that hey, make you feel like a woman that you are most important. What you're doing, I have to transmit that to you. If I don't transmit that to you, if I don't give that to you,
Right.
You're gonna be in that place.
Yeah. Because we will have a talk. I'll ask him, like, we're on this honesty train. Like, I'm learning how to be honest and tell. And I ask him, I'm like, Chef is from Midwest, so he's very blunt. I think he is very blunt. And me, I'm just like, but you just hurt me. He was like, okay, well, just tell me how you feel. And so I'm like, and I will ask him now, I'm like, am I doing too much? How's the home life? And he will be like, no, you good. Or, we may have that talk. And so I'm glad you said that, because I think that's kind of like the issue, not the issue, concern from a lot of women who are entrepreneurs and whatnot. They don't know how to do that balance. And I don't even know if it's really a balance that you can create, but just like you said, you have to pull back.
You can juggle at a lot of times.
Yeah.
Your focus at times has to go from one thing to another. You give a little bit more today of this, tomorrow you're doing a little bit of that. It's this constant balancing act of trying to figure out, okay, let me focus a little bit more on my family today. Let me focus a little bit more on my husband, my work, mama, whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Constantly just trying to figure out what that balance is and what it is that's going to be important that day.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, it can't be the same thing all the time, every day, because there's only 24 hours in one day.
Yeah,
and you're trying to do everything, but it's trying to figure it out.
I agree with Elise. I think for me, my husband is really hands-on. And what I mean by hands-on is like, when I was in the beginning stages of like putting everything together, like he was like, no, that's not good. Yes, go with this. And he has really seen me transform. And the craziest thing is, I think for him, it's a blessing and a curse, right? I guess a blessing, because what he says is that this has made me more confident.
Okay.
Yeah. And, a lot of ladies can probably say themselves, like, when you start to kind of do this thing, it empowers you. It makes you more confident. It makes you, because a lot of times, like we were talking about earlier, the insecurities can really get to women. Even at this age, even older. So you constantly think that you need to look a certain way, or, be like we were talking about earlier, a certain way in order to kind of fit in. But it has also strengthened my relationship with my husband, because now, since I'm feeling more empowered, now there might be more sexy time. You know what I mean?
You posted something the other day, and I told it was you. You wasn't winding though, but you did something like a little sexy post. And you were talking about bringing it back, and I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one, and that's what I'm talking about. You remember that one? So let me make that clear. She wasn't whining and grinding. Y'all was just messing. But you did a little sexy post, and you were talking about bringing yourself back, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Real people, real women, like tackling these issues, because as a woman, as you get older, you look at Instagram, and I'm not sure about men, how y'all.
I don't know why, because nobody wants them.
That's what y'all say.
I'm gonna give you a great example. I'm gonna be stereotypical. When you see dudes cheat, who they normally cheat with?
Yeah,
the full figure chick. They're gonna let you cheat with the little small. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. When you get older, your stomachs expand, and you want a whole meal. You're right. But the thing is, and I hear a lot of women say that.
Yeah.
Most women are full figured.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as men, shouldn't we be making y'all feel good about yourselves? Because obviously we with y'all, we love y'all. And that's the thing I don't get. If you have a woman that you really love and feel good about, just give her some compliments, make her feel good about herself. And in return, she might spin the wheel for you.
Yeah.
I mean, like really, like just a little something.
Right.
And you'd be amazed when, you gonna go there?
Yeah, that's facts. That's why I love curvy women anyway. That's from the beginning.
But I love that post, because again, there are so many women, you believe it or not, that probably was not feeling themselves, and just watching you and you all do that. It's like, hey, wait a minute. You mean I don't have to be on the beach you just bring that fancy back. And then there's a wife too, right. You have women out here who are really struggling with, and I really thank God, and I'm pretty sure you all did too. You had a life before social media. That makes a difference.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for the women who don't, or the young girls. And that's why it's our job to make that known. Like, you know, we got to get away from, because social media can ruin you. It's good and bad, but it can ruin you, especially with the whole self-image thing.
Ladies, do your husbands tell you to take a break from social media?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll answer that. Yes, because it could be very daunting. It can be, and you can get, it could be very addicting too. And really quickly, before we transition to that question, just to answer Trinette's question, that post was really me talking about my shyness, because a lot of times I think with sex, right? Social media pushes that out, that is supposed to be something that is supposed to be very, you know, oh, you got to do it like this. And if you're not doing enough of this, then your husband is not happy at home. Keep him happy, right? That post was me saying like, wow, I'm really shy to do this. I've been married to my husband for 12 years. And this kind of feels a little shy to me. Do you guys feel that way? And I put that post up like this, y'all, because I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
It was so cute. It was so set. It was just like, oh, so I'm not the only one, you know. I'm open about my path with it, because it does put, you know, you go through these spurts and these periods of time where you're like, okay, is everything pornographic now? Like, do you have to do everything the porn stars, you know, do?
And that's what drives my question. What did your husband think when he saw it?
Oh, first of all, he hated the song. My husband, he's big in, like, he's a rapper, so he produces. So he's very much in the music world. So he's
like, you could use that song.
He was like, I don't like the song. But what he thought was dope was that there was so many women, because my comment was, please don't leave me hanging, ladies. And sure enough, Trinette was like, oh my God, I feel the same way. And so many women. And he was like, it's dope that you're putting yourself out there. Because so many other women can relate. You know?
Okay.
You know,
that was let me give it to you from the other side of the track. As men, we wonder why, when, you know, why our wives go through that period where they're like, well, I'm a mother. You're still the same person, the same before we met. And some women don't feel that sexy vibe anymore because they become mothers and wives. And like, my wife went through that, and I'm like, hey, let's stop playing husband and wife. Let's go back to when we were dating. Like all the crazy fun stuff we did in college. I mean, just go back to doing some of that stuff. I mean, because we're still the same people, and as men, we still see like some men want to still see you as that little hottie we had back in college. And you're still, so it's up to us to give you that vibe back, but you have to like just let go sometimes. Like as adults, we get uptight.
We do.
Thinking that we're not supposed to do this. But on the flip side, and I'm just being honest, fellas, some of y'all have conversations with other women that you should be having with your wife. Like messages from him, like that, you know. I'm just being,
you want to know something? I was gonna say, okay. So with your comment, as well as a comment that I'm seeing here in the comments section, I feel like sometimes men speak to other women because the answer that they're going to get is going to be the answer that they don't necessarily, that they want to hear, but if they speak to us, it's going to be the one that they don't want to hear. They're getting an answer from an unbiased person who has really nothing to do with the situation. So they're going to get an answer that is going to make them feel happy inside, but meanwhile they're supposed to be having that conversation with their wife so that the issue that's really happening can actually be addressed. And
it's like looking from the outside looking in, right? And then looking at the comment that I just read from Laurent, I feel like a lot of the times we want, as women, we want to hear about, you know, how a man can make us feel happier just by telling us that you're beautiful, that you're sexy, that you're all of this. But a lot of the time, men feel the same way. I've been with my husband for 14 years now, 15 years now. He for sure does not look like the same person that he looked like when we first started dating. They have their own insecurities. So that feeling needs to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
He also needs to feel sexy. He also needs to feel loved. He also needs to feel like he can be a part of the relationship with you and feel strong and secure in himself. Where we want to feel the same, because how are you going to go and have sexy time with your husband when both of you are laying in bed feeling like crap about yourselves?
Right. Woo! Can I give you a round of applause? Oh my goodness.
Y'all hear that? The drumming said, my God, spitting straight facts. Tank.
I mean, it's the truth though. Like most guys like, well, that's my work friend. Like you sit and you have conversations with them that you should have with your you'll be amazed. Like I said, she might want to put on that wig and pretend like y'all in 48 hours.
You know?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
She might come in there with a pistol on her hip.
And that's true. Me and Chef had to have this conversation because I am, and again, this is transparent. I'm transparent about, y'all know my walk, and I had to tell him, I'm like, talk to me and let me know, and I can talk to you. And I had to learn how to open up to him too. I'm just like, if you want me to put on, I already told you I can't wear heels, but I will put on some stilettos for you. I made that clear. But if you want me, and he has expressed these things, and that again, relationships, you gotta talk to your partner.
Right. I gotta make you feel comfortable.
Right. You got to.
There's nothing wrong with role playing.
Right.
I just might go into a whole nother dimension. Now this might be the Marvel. I don't know. But but the thing is, it's exciting when you can share, because I can share that with my wife, and we can take it further. I can't take it no further with you. That would end me up in divorce court with all my money gone. Broke. But I mean, but it's the truth though. A lot of men don't express those wants to their wives. And they think, well, she ain't gonna do all that.
You'd be surprised what we'd be willing to do.
Man.
I'm trying to tell you, be your best freak. What's
wrong with him? He ain't spoken 2 days.
We'll take off of work.
Turn into a real quick.
Call in the sub. Be like, I ain't coming in. Hands on the table.
You know what? But that's a problem. Because if you're married and you haven't missed work in the last year because y'all were just getting a little freaky and time went over, there's a problem.
Right.
The quickie wasn't the quickie.
No, listen. My time might be backwards, backwards. But how are you this morning? I am great. I'm like Tony the Tiger.
Stressful duties.
Oh my gosh. The mail room, y'all. Messages from here. We are live with Mama's Cocktail Hour. Talking about Mama. And we are just chatting it up. We're talking about all of their endeavors, relationships. Mama's Cocktail. I love it.
When the last time you had a drink with your mate? And just like the real sat down and had a drink, and y'all just sitting there being silly.
Yeah. Well, I know a disclaimer with me. You said last night.
I do that all the time.
And I've learned to do that. I think y'all been teaching me how to do that, because I'm now learning how to, believe it or not, I am learning how to relax. So that's why I said this is a big season for me, because now I'm going into a season of learning how to relax. I can tell everybody else how to relax. I can give you 10, 15 steps. I can create you a relaxation package and bots and all of that. I can do it.
That relaxation package.
Like tonight is going to be a safe space to relax.
Right. I'm learning how to relax.
One thing about relaxing, especially when you're an adult and you have a brand, and I just really believe this. You just gotta be careful who you relax around.
Right.
If you really can just relax, have a couple drinks, sit back. You can just let go. That's an awesome thing for you and your partner to just. It releases a lot of tension at the end of the night. Release some more tension. It's, to me, the setup. Before it's like you're about to go out. We have pregame. You sit there and you drink. It's the setup before everything. The little bitty things that you do, and you never know where it's going to go.
Another form of foreplay.
Right, and that's what I'm learning. Like
I'm bitty stuff.
I'm learning to, because he'd be like, "Let's have a drink," and I'll be like, "No, but I gotta." And then it's like that thing that hit me, and it's like, "No, girl, just chill out. Go have a drink with your man."
And it's another way of intimacy. It's another form of intimacy.
And that's what I'm learning. Like, I'm like, oh, he just want to have a drink with me.
Yeah, a lot of us, it's like the simple things. We ain't trying to.
It's the conversation that we're having alone.
Yeah,
and the ambiance that's happening as we're drinking. Like, first of all, we gonna say stuff. We talk like we people look at us like y'all talking in code. Yeah, we have certain things that we can say to each other. And have a whole conversation in front of you, and we didn't have one of the most X-rated. Somebody might never sing
I'm like that long roast session about you, and you don't know.
I mean, we're upfront. Like when you meet us, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, she'll be like, why you laughing? Oh, he got his hand. I mean, it is. That's, I don't care.
Yeah. Now, okay, so each one of you are married. Zeta, you said how long? 12 years?
Yes.
Jazz, how long have you been married?
I've been married 5, but we've been together almost 10.
Okay, and Elise, you said how long?
We're going on 9 years soon in February, but we've been together 14.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you ever find yourself, something I was introducing to my husband, I told him that every 6 months, and I'm not sure if you do a tank, but I learned it from John Travolta and his wife. He was saying that every 3 months or so they do a check-in, and then every 6 months they do a check-in, and then like a yearly check-in, they go off somewhere. How often do you all check in with your partners, or do you all do that, or how do you check in with your partners? Because I'm finding that, especially in this climate now, you know, people need to see positive relationships, right? And they need to see the real relationships, you know. And I'm an advocate for healthy relationships. You know, we're gonna go through life and whatnot, but it's also important to check in with your partner. How often do you all do that? Nancy said 23. Oh wow, y'all are some. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ooh, y'all give me hope, and thank you, Jesus. Because you know, sometimes this is my second one. I'll be like, Lord Jesus, you put this together, because you know. But how do y'all check in? How do y'all keep that going with everything that you have going on? How do you say, okay, babe, it's just me and you? No mama's cocktail, no children, nothing of the world. It's just me and you. How do you all do that?
I would say for me, in the beginning, it was a disaster. And there was no line drawn. But we did a lot of work in the beginning of our marriage when it came to communication, because we both didn't know how to do that. So we got to a point where he had to check me. He had to tell me, like, listen, I support you, whatever, but like you're neglecting certain things. I miss my wife. Like I miss my friend, right? Because in our relationship, like we're best friends. We do everything together. We joke around. Even, you know, especially in the pandemic, we got closer because he was out of work for a while and he was always there. And you have your inside jokes and you want to share your moments and you want to watch your TV program. But he had to check me, honestly. And so now, like, we have certain days where I know specifically I'm just going to do, you know, things with him. I can go to him and be like, yo, am I, like you said, am I doing too much? And he'd be like, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do this. But it's all about communication. Like, we had to do the work before. Like, that people don't seem to understand how important communication is. We did 2 years of premarital counseling. We both were two people who came from disastrous relationships before, and we had a lot of baggage. They were very toxic. And even though there was love between us, we didn't have the skills. In order to go through life with a partner, you guys need to learn how to talk to each other, because that love feeling, that you have to work to keep that love feeling, because there's different things that go on in your life. So just being able to talk to your friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're your partner, but they're your friend. They're your other half. So just keeping that open line of communication. But he checks me all the time. He'd be like, you talking to Zeta? I'd be like, no.
Let me call you back.
Watch baby boy. Hey, get off that phone. Get off that phone. We're in that West Coast boy. Get off that phone.
He'd be like, he just checked me.
You in the phone? right, then.
I love it. Oh my God.
That was the realest answer too.
Yeah.
She gave a real answer. That like all facts.
Yeah. I think that's what this platform is about.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we started this platform, it was like, I think a lot of people want to be politically correct.
Yeah.
And instantly we discussed that we know that type of content is not going to push because it's not real.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, we talk a lot about relationships, the things that we struggle with, the cultural differences. Like, for instance, you know, my husband is Black, I'm Hispanic. Hispanic families is crazy. The family that comes along with us is insane. And there's a different dynamic. It's real. And I deal with it. And my husband and I actually just started a couples podcast. It's called The Drumming.
Nice.
Yes, they did. Yeah, you gotta check it out. The Drumming. It is super dope. I love it.
So you gotta deal with an undreamed and Becky in your family. I bet that was a shock, because I mean, I'm be honest, we as African Americans are a little different sometimes. We can be a little
right. The aunties be sitting on.
Let me tell you, my husband's mother is no joke. So I understand you know. It's completely
because I've been Black 47. God bless you for coming on and joining us, and I know it's difficult.
It's so funny you mentioned that, because I did a reel just recently about the conversation that my husband has to have with me when we go to a family reunion.
Oh Lord!
And it's like, you better not talk to nobody, you better not say nothing, and you better just keep your eyes.
Hold on, I'll be on the other phone. Let me tell y'all something. I'm bringing my wife here to this family reunion, and I ain't bringing her over here for y'all to get no approval. I'm gonna need y'all to act right, or I'm gonna have some problems. Okay, LC, you understand what I'm talking about? I need you to sit down at the table and keep your hands to yourself. If you got touching in the green and praying, because it's my wife. You understand?
I want no
reunion, so I understand. Sure, I went to my husband's family reunion the first time, and I was like, okay, so how do I? Because you know, it's a different dynamic. It's like literally my husband's family, they're like partiers, and I come from a very quiet family, literally bougie, quiet family. And I'm sitting over in the corner, and you know, I'm just looking around like, oh my God, are they there? Like they're drinking, and they're drinking with their aunts, and you know. And so one of the aunts had to say, she said, "Baby, it's okay. You fine. You in the safe space." I was like, "Oh shoot, it was that." Let me loosen up a little something. Let me put a cup in my hand or something, even if it got water in there. Let me get it. I mean, so I understand.
You see, in the Black household,
man,
you bring the girlfriend over who don't want to speak and say no, right? Oh, it's gonna be tragic, because they're gonna ask her obvious questions. Like, oh, you acting bougie? You acting bougie?
Yeah.
You know, they know you darker than me.
You got to love us. Oh my gosh, them family reunions. And this is the part I love about y'all, because again, just speaking about those topics, you know, that y'all bring to the table, people need to actually hear this. Like, okay, yeah, we went through this communication piece, because me and my husband went through it, and you know, I shared it with y'all. That first two years, we were like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
And the thing is, people need to start being honest. The first couple of years of marriage are not going to be all bad. Because you have two different people. You have first of all, man, I'm gonna speak for us. We coming in with our ways and who we are. And let's be honest, at a certain point, we don't want to be, it's like, oh, you're not breaking me. Right. Get out. We don't, but the thing is, like my wife will always tell me, you're fighting the person that loves you the most, and you don't have to. And all men do it. We all sit there and we all come up with our own ideas and think, and instead of and it's not getting permission, but it's cool to run it by somebody else. And like, you know, hold on, babe, just think about that for a second. You know, and like, if you do that, this is gonna happen. And it's cool to have, you know, she's doing her job, making sure I don't hit a tree. So we have to get used to that, because as men, we feel like, you know what? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because our relationship started off rocky, like with the death of my mom. So we literally are just coming off of that roller. Like we're coming down now. Like we had to do a start over.
But ain't it nice to come down with somebody?
It is because but the world makes you feel like, oh, you know what, you're supposed to be, this happy-go-lucky couple after you get married, which when we started off, but we didn't think about life happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, it's like, and he told me, he was like, you're not the person I married. I said, I know I'm not the person that it changed. But when we started talking and just being honest with each other, and people don't want to hear that. Like they don't want to hear the in between, the after the wedding, the the glam and the glitz. It's like, no, now you gotta be married. Like, know.
A lot of people, guys,
right.
I tell a lot of guys, you're falling in love. Like when you fall in love, you're falling in love with her inner soul, inner her, because the outside is gonna change.
Yeah.
It's a part of life. Yeah. And I always joke with my wife. I'm like, you still the same, college 18-year-old that I met in college.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, I know that as a person, she's going to change. She's going to physically change. We've got kids, the whole nine. Yeah. But you still keep that same center of beauty that you met when you met her.
Yeah.
And most people lose that or lose sight of it.
Yeah, they do.
And you shouldn't, because that same person's there. They've just gotten older.
Yeah.
They may know some tricks now that'll something wrong with it.
LaRon said life makes people grow and your partner has to grow as well. And that's all it is. That growth, because it's like sometimes I'll be like, babe, I'm like, when you met me, you ooh, child. But now, come on now, baby, come on. I know
and I always, like guys, like in the beginning, like you'll chat it up, and when you really get to a space where you and your partner can really communicate and like say stuff that you've been holding back.
Yeah.
And like
so free.
Yeah, it is. Very.
Like it is amazing. Again, I tell people it's amazing when you don't have nothing in the closet.
Yeah, that's
like you knock on that door. I don't give a damn. You go answer.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. Yeah. There's no. And the thing is, people can say, and that's my husband. You can't tell me nothing about my husband.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
He'll fight you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is so true.
I was gonna say, my husband and I started dating when we were both 24 years old, because we're the same age.
Okay.
If we didn't grow up together, I don't think it would be right.
Okay.
He and I both started when we were 24. I already came with a pre-built family.
Okay.
I already had 2 children, and he came into the mix when I already had those kids.
Okay.
And then we got married. Mm-hmm. So like most other people, the first couple of years of marriage for us was a little harder.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find our own way. We're trying to build our family unit, and him coming into what was already pre-built. And when you go from living with your mom and your dad to now living with a wife and 2 kids that are toddlers, there's all these other expectations and all this other mess that's going to happen when you come into a family. So things naturally aren't going to always be easy. And that little honeymoon phase that people have, when you have a family, a honeymoon phase is kind of almost non-existent at that point.
Yeah.
So
that is so true.
You're in love and everybody's happy, but you got to figure out your way.
Yeah.
And naturally, we had to grow up together in a different way, because our 24-year-old self is not our 38-year-old self that we are now. We've been through marriages, we've been through family deaths, we've been through anything that you can think of that can make or break a relationship. But it's just being able to know that the person that you did start a relationship with at the age of 24 loved you for the core reasons that you would want to love a person for.
Yeah.
And
what do you all tell the women out here? You know what's bothering me now? I'm hearing all of these women, and I get it. The dating pool, when I started dating, it was after my divorce,
crazy.
The dating was crazy. I'm not, especially here in Atlanta. It was crazy.
Worse than what it is now?
Man, I was like, Jesus, I don't know if I could do this. But when I hear women say there are no good men out there, or like, and I've been thinking to myself, well, what did I get? Like, what do you say to women who are going through that now, that are saying, oh, I can't get, they really want relationships, but they're like, I can't find a person. But when you think about all your friends that are in good relationships, it's like, so I'm not understanding, like, and I don't like giving dating advice because everybody's different. And I tell people, as a relationship coach, I cannot tell you how to get a man, because ultimately it depends on you and what you want. You may not like what I want or whatever. But what do you say to women now that, because I know your podcast and whatnot, you all talk about relationships and so forth, and you all have relationships, you're in marriages, but what do you tell those women who are looking for husbands and they keep saying they can't find anybody?
I think that I honestly feel like, for me, and just really quickly, that women have to, I don't want to say lower their standards, because I feel like a lot of people don't like that, right?
Yeah.
But you need to really know what it is that you want. I think a lot of women go into relationships just for like the aesthetics, right? You want a man to have a career that maybe you want him to have, a car, all these things, right?
Yeah.
But those are the things that can get you with a man that's not really for you, right? You need to focus on the core things, like personalities, like whether or not you guys want the same things, right? A man may not want to get married. He may not want to have kids. He may not. And then those issues transpire into your marriage, and they only then just add on a whole bunch of other things. I think as women, what we do a lot is we tiptoe around issues because we want the perfect marriage. We want the perfect house. We want the perfect image. And we walk around like everything is perfect. And then we get into this relationship and we realize that this man is this, or this woman is this, and this man is cheating, and this woman is cheating, and there's all these issues that we do not want to talk about. And we don't want to, we want to just kind of put underneath the rug. But in the end, what ends up happening is your relationship is not going to go nowhere. It's going to stay at a standstill. If those issues are not resolved, if you're not transparent, if you're not being honest, if you're not fessing up to the things that you really want in a relationship, marriage is not going to solve the issue, guys. That is my advice.
I would also say agree with Zeta in the sense, like, okay, so I met my husband on Match.com, right? And what I realized in that relationship was that I had come to terms with what exactly is that I need, what I need from a relationship. What is it that I need from a partner? Not what I want, right? But what is it that I need to be happy in a relationship? And I think that's what women really need to start thinking about. Like, what is it that you need from a partner to be in a healthy relationship? Also, too, that sometimes relationships, people confuse that lust sometimes as necessarily a love connection. Of course, you should have that chemistry with somebody, but that doesn't, if you have that instantaneously, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a match made in heaven. Especially as you get older, it's important that you connect with the person in different ways. So actually dating the person, giving yourself an opportunity to really meet, like, know the person, figure out if you click in different ways. I clicked with my husband because I dated him. I got to know him, and I became attracted to him in a way that I say a grown woman type of way. Because before I was running off of my hormones. I was running off of how I felt physically, right? With him, I was like, wow, like mentally, like, you know, like he's smart. It was like he was intriguing in so many different ways. And, it just builds even more that sexual connection. So you have to really just get to know a person. But before you get to know a person, you really got to know and understand what is it exactly that you're looking for.
I found that before I started dating my husband, and like Jasmine, it wasn't Match.com, but it was MySpace. So it was the kind of, it was the same thing. But MySpace, I'm dating myself. But I was by myself for a long time. So I got to know what it was that I wanted.
Right.
I got to know myself. So it's knowing that you can be by yourself.
Yeah.
Is something that I feel like you should go into a relationship with beforehand.
Right.
You need to be at peace with yourself. You need to know what it is that you want from yourself and what you're willing or not willing to accept. So
the drummer said, "Damn girl, MySpace days."
I was gonna say she dated herself by saying MySpace. I'm just saying. And still nobody found out where Tom is.
It was MySpace. I saw him on
MySpace. Yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We allowed for ourselves to speak to each other prior to even getting in front of each other physically, like Jasmine did as well. It's being, and it's not to say that, oh my God, that's going to make your relationship perfect. No, but it's going to allow for you to have built the foundation so that when things get rough, you guys can figure out how it is that you're going to get through it together. It's finding out what you want from yourself as well as from a partner. And then when you find a partner, allowing for yourself to see if what they're bringing to the table is something that you can handle. And if they're bringing the foundational things that you want, like Zeta was saying, family, religion is a big thing. Marriage is a thing. And whether or not you guys want kids and money. Those are at least 5 things that you need to be all on the same page about. Everything else is nothing. But if you guys don't got your money situation, or at least are on the same page about money, relationship, being married, having kids, figuring out your home, if you're not on the same page, then there's no point.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that's, I love the advice from each one of you, because that's something I experienced after the first time. You know, I went on the looks of the hormones. You know, I'm like, oh, he cute, I'm cute. We're going to get together. We're going to make this cute family. I had to plan out. I was like, oh, he cute, I'm cute. We got 2-parent family homes, you know, this, that, and other. I had it mapped out. Boom. Here, look at here. And then when I got to know myself in that 8-year period, you know, like literally dating myself and understanding what I wanted. And then here comes Chef, who was totally opposite. I struggled, and he'll tell you, I struggled with getting with him because I'm like, that's not who I had on my vision board, Jesus. Like, that's not.
Here's the thing about y'all vision.
I literally said, I do not want another 6'4" man. I wanted somebody to 6'4". I was like, I did not want him, you know, and I had this, and my aunt, who was 91 when she and my mom and my grandmother gave me their approval, like they fell in love with Chef, and they gave me their approval, and they all told me that's who you need. It's not what you want. And God had to tell me, get rid of that.
It's women though that y'all, I don't know where it happened. It's like the expectation is kind of messed up. Like it should be the fact that he treats you well, doesn't beat you, call you out.
Well, all of that was gonna come,
but no, that's the that should be in the forefront. Look, my name Darren. I work for city sanitation, but listen, I'm loyal.
Old school is how a woman was like. If the woman didn't grow up in watching healthy relationships, right? And if she thought that a healthy and happy relationship was because she saw, let's say, her mom or her aunt get all these things. She's thinking, well, that's what I'm supposed to do, but she don't really know all the drama her mom and her parents to go through that, right? So it takes a while. Like I know for myself, he and we came from horrible relationships, both growing up and then in our past relationships. We had to learn together what a healthy relationship looked like, and then how we wanted ours to look like. It's just people not knowing.
Yeah, and you're right about that. The drummer said 3 great perspectives from 3 amazing women. Definitely, because again, this is something that we need to understand as women. Each person is going to have their expectations, and what I needed in my life for this season, it's that protector, that person who's going to be like, because he knew me, and along with everything, and I tell women, everything else is going to come, like Chef is handsome to me. So like I didn't have to put that on my vision board. I want somebody to look cute. Well, God's gonna give you that. You're gonna be attracted to that person. But I needed that man, that person who was gonna, God knew, okay, Trinette needs a protector. Trinette needs that voice behind it, So he gave me, and I struggle, and I promise y'all I struggle, and I talk about it in my book. I struggle with it, and I asked him one day. I said, "I don't think we're supposed to be together." And he was like, "Okay, we don't have to date no more." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I will talk to you later. Thanks. It's nice knowing you."
How long was you coming back?
I did. It was like probably like a week or so. I did.
So you were sipping on one of these using this cup.
This is not gonna work because he is from the streets and I'm from, and I'm just like this, that, and that. I did. I literally, I didn't think we would connect, right? Because we're so opposite.
People get standards mixed up.
Yeah,
standards and wants are two different things.
Right. Yeah.
And for a man to be like, I know I don't have the $1 billion job, but I ain't gonna beat you. I ain't gonna curse you. I ain't gonna do this.
I'm just letting me love you.
Me and my wife always joke about a lot of the superstars and a lot of the famous people. They can't, all the money they have, they can't buy loyalty.
Right. They can't. Yeah. Yeah.
And people laugh. Yeah. I mean, as a man, that's big when you can, hey, I'm gonna hand you some loyalty.
Yeah.
And watch what she do.
Right.
Watch how many bears she killed while you sleeping.
Right.
That's like serious.
Yeah.
And as a woman, there's nothing better than feeling safe. And that's one thing I say that I can say with my husband. I feel safe. I feel protected in every single type of way. And that's all we ever really want.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Ain't nothing like safe space and solo cups. But anyway, go ahead.
And it really is. It's like that you want to feel protected.
Yep.
It's like, okay, he knew I was independent. I didn't have to show that again. Like, I went in there like, I don't need your money. I'm good. I don't need this, that, and other. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? After all the stuff that I've been through over the years with, with guys or whatever, I just want to be in a safe space. I just want somebody to have my back. And that's what God blessed me with. Yep. And I think that's what the women, like you all said, that's what they're missing. Like they're missing that factor. Like God is going to give you who you really need in your life or where you need to go. Because if I didn't have Chef, more than likely I probably wouldn't be this far at where I am. And I would, but then I wouldn't because I probably would still I'm so naive to a point. Like he's that protector. He's that no, she don't need that. I'd be like, no, baby, but they're so nice. I'm just gonna buy it. Man, she don't, he's that type of dude.
We gonna make sure you get that.
Man, you just be giving away your money. I'd be like, no, I don't. I'm just so nice. Like they were just so nice. They just wanted to sell me the bag. He was like, man, that's fake. I'd be like, man, I was just gonna give a donation. He'd be like, man, picture behind me and get y'all. Everybody would have my money if it was serious. I'm just so nice like that. But
I give you balance. Trinette. There gotta be a balance. There gotta be a yin and yang.
Right.
Because for my husband, I am like this. I'm like this outspoken person. I'm nice too, so people will try it, and he'll be in my ear like, that don't sound right.
Right. I'll let you for a second.
Open the box.
I am the nice one. He is the just straightforward, and I'd be like,
but you need that balance.
And I didn't see that at first. I didn't see that.
And my wife's always like, hey, you know what? You don't want to talk to my husband.
You don't want to talk. Because I tell people, I'm like, you don't want to talk to my husband. Like, you just don't. No, you talk to me, and then I'll relay the message.
Now, if she hey, hold on, partner. She didn't hand me the phone.
Right.
Problem here. We got a problem. What's going on?
Facts.
Right. I love that you're now. So the drummies, that is who? That's Zayda. Yep. That's okay. So, and that's what you all are talking about, those relationship, the things you're dealing with in your relationships, especially on this path with Mama's Cocktail. And you're bringing the real, like I wanted to bring
to center, because I don't think there's a lot of good representation of Black and brown families on Instagram and real families. So my husband and I are starting our own venture with the Drummies, and that's probably him commenting. And because we are super supportive of each other, which I love. He has a platform, like I said, he does music. And he also has his business platform, which is the Fez Dealer, where he sells authentic traditional Moroccan fezzes that he makes. So we really are merging our brand together, and he was super proud to be like the first member of Mama's Cocktail Hour as a male podcaster. And you know, we kicked him in there real good, like you're gonna be on this platform. So he's super excited. And we're just in the beginning stages, and right now we're just talking about trending topics, but we will we definitely want to make the show more authentic, talk about things that me and him really struggled with in our relationship. You know, my husband, he's military, so he's very straightforward. And I am a ball of emotions and feelings, and I'm all over the place. So he even is telling some dirty secrets on there. He told everybody that I was messy. So he's dropping a lot of gems on there. So if you guys want to check it out, please feel free. But it's important that we kind of portray authentic stuff. We talk about things that people don't want to talk about, because we can be helping somebody out there. And I tell you, Trinette, the amount of people who hit me up like, oh my God, I'm going through that. Oh my God, thank you for talking about that. Like Jasmine, her platform is amazing on Jazz Speaks. She talks about some of the struggles with mental health that, growing up, those are the things you don't talk about.
Exactly. And that's what I want to segue in with, Jazz. You have a platform that is taboo. Like, how dare you, as a woman of color, talk about the struggles with mental health? And when I said, oh my gosh, you hit it, because again, especially coming out of a pandemic, y'all, we're still in the pandemic, believe it or not. But it is still taking a mental toll on a lot of people and a lot of families. So how did that platform come about? How did you just decide, like, okay, I'm gonna tackle this. I'm going to get the courage to talk about this.
Because it's my story. It's my journey. It's something that I struggled with my whole life. Now looking back and having that awareness, and I didn't have the space where I can look to somebody and be like, oh, okay, they're going through this, but they're not broken, or they're not crazy, which I hate that word. I didn't have that. And so I think back of, if there was just one person who would have been able to speak to me and just tell me like, it's going to be okay, I would have loved that. And also too, I'm proud of my story, because I'm still close enough to it that I can relate to it, but I'm far removed from the initial struggle that I can tell my story and be proud of it. Like, I've been through some things, and a lot of us are going through it, and we're ashamed to talk about it. I had a hard time in the beginning when I started speaking my truth. My mom was not very happy about it. She comes from a time where it's like, you don't talk about those things because you don't want people to look at you and hold it against you. They're gonna only see that when they see you now, because you're seeing it. And at first, I felt a certain type of way, but I'm like, no, this is my story. I believe I went through what I went through because I'm meant to speak about this. I have the ability and the gift to speak my story in a way where people connect with it. And I went through this for a reason. And there's a lot of women, Black and brown women, who go through this and they're afraid to talk about it. And that's why, like, I'm all about, I want to go on there. I want to bring women that look like us, that going through the same thing, because the more and more that we talk about it, the more and more it becomes less taboo. The more and more people stop hiding in the dark, the shame is removed, and people can get the help that they need, whether it be a temporary bout that you're going through, or if you're like me, a chronic sufferer. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And a lot of mental health issues tie into other things, relationship issues, self-esteem issues, so it's very much tangled up into a lot of different things. But it comes natural to me because I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm just telling my story.
Yeah.
Preach,
Yeah.
girl.
I know, right? I love it because again, you don't get that platform, especially, you know, because we're always looked at as you're a strong woman. And I finally had to tell somebody last year before last, I said, I gave up my Miss Independent Black Woman card because it was literally weighing me down. Like it was that struggle on top of struggle because I had these expectations of others. Like I'm supposed to be a strong woman. I'm supposed to be a strong Black woman. And inside I was breaking down. I'm like, I just lost my mom. I'm a school teacher. All of these things. I'm still dealing with the loss of my dad. And now my grandmother, like I can't be strong. And I finally had to say, I'm not strong, you know, and I go to therapy. I love therapy. And that was something that helped me like to say, no, you're okay. You don't have to be strong. Who told you had to be strong? And I didn't need anybody. And then I found myself in a place where it's like, oh, wait a minute. I do need people. I need someone, especially by me being the oldest. So, you know, I'm always that person that's going to protect everybody else and fix everything else. But who was helping me, you know? And not that I didn't have it. I just didn't want it because
didn't want to use it.
I didn't want to use it because I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be the strong one. So for someone to come on and actually talk about this, you know, it's much needed. And it's, and then many times, you know, you think of, when we have people to talk, you automatically think everybody has a degree and, you know, their credentials and to talk about this. It's like, no, regular people, regular people who have gone through this and who can tell you how they are healing or how they've healed and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, again, therapy, I'm an advocate of therapy and counseling because we need it in our community. But also I love your platform to say, hey, I went through this, you know, and I can tell you how I got over it. You know what I'm saying? And we need that. I love it. And I think you were talking about OCD. Like I'm a recovering OCD addict. And a lot of times you don't put that together because you're like, oh, that's nothing. But when you think about it, it is an issue. It's a problem because my first home, like my walls were white. I didn't want to put pictures up or anything. My dad was military and my mom was literally OCD. So we grew up in a home where everything was neat, you know, put together and all of that.
Pictures, no nothing.
Well, in my mom's home, but in my home, my first home, I didn't have pictures of nothing. I wanted my walls to completely stay white and clean. And so this time, it's crazy, right?
Like on the couch looking at you like, something gonna happen.
I know, right? Like I didn't want holes. I wanted like the perfect white walls. I did not want holes or anything in there. Like, and so people don't think like they're thinking, oh, that's just you funny. I'm like, no, but that was an issue. But then when I got divorced and I had to have that moment with myself, those 10 years, I had to, oh, wait a minute. I can't, if I want a new husband and a new life, there's some things I'm going to have to deal with. And I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that and did not know that there was an issue that was led to something else and something else that stemmed from, like, it's a whole, like, it's amazing. So I'm glad that you all are like really talking about this and bringing it to the forefront because we need it. So many of our women of color, they are hurting and killing themselves inside because they don't have anybody to release or they feel like they're the only ones that's going through this.
Right. And fellas, you should be your partner's biggest fan, advocate, and also counselor. Straight up. Because I'll be honest, I mean, what the cool part is my wife understands mentally who I am, where I am, my insecurities, and she doesn't mind sitting and asking me, you okay, and talking about it. And it's like, okay, when you have somebody that you can actually communicate with and release that with. And a lot of people are walking around with baggage that they don't have to. Or you're with somebody who's not helping you unpack your bags. Y'all at home. Sharita said, preach. I'm the oldest and it can be a heavy burden until we are directed by God. And again, these are topics that need to be discussed, and we just sometimes we overlook it. We just cover it up. Oh, girl, you know. Oh, we get too grown.
We get too grown.
We too grown to admit we have problems. Like everything is You know, that Instagram image, that bougie.
Yes.
We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
And fathers,
yeah, right. You know, I've learned to say that I'm not okay. I'm learning to say when people now ask me, like, how are you? I'm like, I'm not okay today, but I will be, you know. So and that's a big step for me because now I'm acknowledging, no, Trinette is having a moment today, you know, and it's okay for me to go in there and cry it out or whatever, but I am going to be okay. So I really love that. And again, I'm an advocate for it and the support. I just love it. And I know at least you have a platform where you talk about decorating and the home life. I love decorating, but I'm at the point in my life. How much does it cost for you to come on in and decorate?
So you keep that Christmas tree up until Easter, won't you?
You know, and I think
some of the ornaments will be these.
I think it comes from growing up. It's like we're always the arts and crafts. Like we were the only Black family on the block that's doing arts and crafts. So I'm always doing something. But now it's like God has blessed me. I will find some money to go and hire somebody to come in. I need a maid. I need a housekeeping. I need somebody to decorate.
As long as they don't use the soda cups.
So what is your platform about, Elise?
So it's called At Home with Elise. A lot of what I do, especially now, because I just moved into my home. I bought a home earlier this year in April because COVID.
Congratulations.
That was the way that COVID blessed me this year. It allowed for me to stay home and not spend my money enough to buy a home. But I grew up being a creative. So it was just me being able to hone in on that. I used to plan weddings when I had the chance. That was one of my outlets to express my creative side. Yeah. And now with Mama's Cocktail Hour, I'm able to do that now with my home and dive into my little passions, whether it be designing, whether it be cooking and looking for little tips and tricks. And
you cooking?
I'm cooking. I've been cooking because as a kid, when you have no other responsibilities, aside from the fact that my mom forced me to cook, because as a Puerto Rican family, that's what you do. You got to figure out ways to, help and get things done in the house. So I learned how to cook at an early age so that by the time my mom got home, at least one of those things were done. Cooking and designing and just finding any creative outlet for me, because for me that's what helps me de-stress, being creative. So I figured, hell, I might as well create a platform for it, whether it be that I'm cooking a 5-minute quick meal or whether it's that I'm going to DIY something. And that's something that both me and my husband both share, because he himself is very creative. He likes to be in the background. He likes to be, because unfortunately my family doesn't share in the whole let's do social media thing together. They would rather be in the background, but he too is very creative. So whether it be he's on a Cricut making a t-shirt for me, or I'm there helping design one of them for him. Us just being creative together. And it's our way of de-stressing. It's our way of becoming happy in ourselves. So I thought, why not share it with everybody else?
Right. I love it. I'll be tuning in more, especially for the holiday season.
Absolutely.
I just need some more. I'm not going to say I got lazy. I'm going to take y'all's advice again. I'm going to step back because I have been move. Let me ask you this.
What's the last fun thing you and Chef did?
The last fun thing?
Just fun. Between you two, it could be at home, out, just something fun.
Oh my goodness!
Well, I need to cue Jeopardy music for this.
I know, right? YouTube with LaRon and his wife. We did that will be coming out this week. We did the chip challenge with LaRon. That was fun for us. But I am promising myself I am going to take a break for a minute and just kind of rediscover and relax and have some fun and just, I really do, because I have literally been boom, 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 bam. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, you know, because Chef likes to have fun. I like to have fun. I do. I'm going to not plan. How about that? Because I'm a planner.
Yes.
I'm a planner. Like I would have a whole notebook.
That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
I'm a planner. And he just be like, he was like, do you have an agenda? I was like, yeah. So today we're gonna do this. And he be like, dude, I'm not doing nothing with you. Agenda. And if we're not on schedule, it just throws me off.
There's gonna be one day he throw that whole agenda in the garbage and say, let's go.
Sometimes you gotta go. I mean, just go for it.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, I usually be like, he'd be like, let's go out for, you know, let's go out to eat. And I'd be like, but it's a school night and it's like 9 o'clock. He'd be like, you don't get in that car. I'd be like, okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take y'all's advice. He telling on you, Zayda. He said, you got 100 notebooks.
And they got nothing written in them because I myself am spontaneous. I am the person in my relationship that's like, yo, let's go here. And he's like, but that's not on the schedule. Ain't no schedule. We going. So since he's snitching on me, I'm going to snitch on him.
This is about to be a real conversation.
You got 100 planners and 100 calendars. But
we have started, we're doing something new for the new year. So that'll be coming out on the YouTube or whatever. So, you know, we're going to try to get back to, we're going to getting back to our date night. And again, that's part of my New Year's starting over, you know, rejuvenating, because I have found myself like, if it's work, you know, teaching takes a lot out of me, and then doing this and then everything else. And I don't want to lose myself again.
So y'all have date night?
We do have date nights, but they're not spontaneous. Like I plan it. So he wants the spontaneous date nights, whereas I'm going to calculate it. I'm going to, you know, make sure.
Just think of something crazy. Like shocking. When he walked through the door, like, whoa! like a lot of times, like a lot of women overthink stuff.
And I'm overthinking stuff.
Still cavemen in that era. I'm like, for real.
So y'all just want spontaneous.
Shock us.
All right, Chef, I'm going to shock you.
Make him put the control.
Wait a minute. I knew she was going to do that.
Ultimate, like, goal. Ain't that bad? That's bad.
No,
I want to put the phone down. Like, I want to shock him. It will be a shocker if I did something shocking.
Do you know how? If you don't surprise that man, in a good way. I mean,
I'm going to shock him.
Hey, when we drag you by the hat, come on.
You know what?
I mean, but we want to be like, do it.
Yeah.
Like we are looking for that.
Yeah.
We need that. I mean, put that outfit on the shot.
Just say you feeling some type of way this evening. And you be like, oh,
be Catwoman in the corner. Looking like, okay, I'm with this, okay.
Lord, the mail room. Yeah. We are live in the studio with Mama's Cocktail. We are coming to a close. You know I hate when we come to a close.
But wait, before we go to a close, I want to make sure I get this in before we go off there. And I want to make sure I do this while they are on here so they can support as well, because these ladies are super dope. So y'all gotta check them out for real. They on some real dopeness right here. Yeah. Like this is some energy right here. All, like as baby say, all three of them. You know what I'm saying? They got like mad energy. Like, hey, you gotta have them back. For real. They gotta be back real soon in some short order. But let's get to these sponsor shout outs and get them out the way. So she's on here right now because I want to make sure I get it in. Lisa. We ain't talking about Lisa and Colt Jam. We talking about Lisa Webb. Lady Luxury Designs. Handmade. That's right. I said Lisa and Colt Jam. Y'all better not. I don't want to hear it. Handmade jewelry and crafts. Laurent was talking about that. He was making some yesterday and he messed up. But it's okay. My brother, it's okay. I just need some cheesecake. So let me cash up you something. But anyway, we ain't talking about cheesecake. We're talking about handmade jewelry and crafts. Follow them on IG at The Lady, LADIE, Luxury, LUXURIE. Make sure you don't forget that. And Bluetooth connected, lashed by Tangia.
Yes. Magnetic 75%.
Magnetic lashes and cosmetic products. Wait, hey, she talking about her birthday again.
She's gonna have those reading rainbow butterflies.
I sure am.
Boy, I don't even know how to follow that one. T, talk about those lashes real quick.
Lashes, y'all get them by Tangia. They magnetic lashes. They are the best thing that's happened. That's it. That's it, honey. Wait till my birthday. I'm gonna have the big ones. The meat. They don't be like that.
They gonna look like the ones on the head.
Y'all not gonna like me. I'm just letting y'all know in advance. Is it a drag? Y'all are not gonna like me because the way I'm gonna act. The way I'm going to act. 3 of my birthday outfits just came in the mail. Like the way
it's gonna be a good month.
Y'all not gonna like me.
You ain't gonna tell her nothing. She said her Bluetooth battery gonna be on all day. And make sure you contact for those lashes. Contact 404-781-8437. Once again, 404-781-8437. Power off.
So before we leave, ladies, tell our listeners how to support each of you all and how we can connect with you, because again, you have my support. Y'all already know that. Y'all have our support. I am super proud of y'all. I don't want y'all to stop. I cannot emphasize that for just so many reasons. You just cannot stop. I am here for the growth. I am here for it all. So how can we support you? And what we need to do?
So you guys can follow us on our Instagram at MamasCHNetwork. That is our main IG page where you can see all 3 of our content. You can go on over to our YouTube and subscribe. We are like young in the YouTube game, so we appreciate every like, every comment, and every subscriber. So if you guys want to check us out there, that's at Mama's Cocktail Hour on YouTube. And then of course you can follow our journeys all individually. For me, it's Zeta Lisa, and there's also my family page, which is at the Drummies, and I'll let the girls plug in where you can find them.
For me, you can find me on IG at mamas_Elise Nicole.
Nice.
And guys, you can catch me Jazz at Jazz Speaks Life. And you can catch my little segment, Tuesday Talks with Jazz, every Tuesday at Jazz Speaks Life or at MamasCHNetwork.
Yeah.
Yo, they are super dope. Let me tell you something. But hey, Tank.
Super.
Hey, Tank. When Zeta speak, don't you feel like watching Do the Right Thing again? Yo, she sounds just like her, though.
Thank you, Chef. Hold on.
Yo, I was thinking that the whole time. I didn't say what the best of the interview.
I grew up in the 80s, so I fell in love with Rosie Perez.
For real, though. Rich facts, yo.
I don't know how many times I snuck to watch Do the Right Thing on Showtime.
I feel like watching Do the Right Thing for real.
Listen, we're having a straight up 80s party, so we're watching all the 80s. So it's going to aim.
It's on.
I'm going to give me a pizza box. I might be a costume. Oh, Lord. James, I'll show up at the door. I can't deliver your pizza.
You know what?
Can I help you?
You gonna have that trash can?
The mail room, y'all, messages from him. Another super dope.
Don't throw a trash can through the window.
Ladies, I cannot stress it enough. Y'all made my day. I made the end of this month with you all. You know, going into the new month, I so appreciate you all. And again, the drummer said, New York in the building. There you go.
Yeah, you almost ready for real.
I love y'all so dearly. And again, I just can't stress enough, because again, that's what it's all about. It's sincere. I love to see people grow and look, let's get it. Let's get this money. As my mom and dad always stressed, God made this world big enough for all of us to eat. There's no competition. I'm learning from you all. Y'all inspire me, you know, so I gotta go get my setsy on and go decorate my house. Go talk about my life again. Y'all keep me inspired. Like, you know, so y'all keep me going. I appreciate you all. Please do not be a stranger. You're more than welcome to come back. And I'm just excited for these ladies, y'all. Mama Cocktail. Like, so please go over you all and follow them, connect with them, their content. It is just super awesome. And I'm not exaggerating. Okay. I'm not exaggerating. So go over there like now. So thank you, Nancy, for tuning in. She was doing her thing on IG. So again, Tank, what you got coming up?
Well, we're going to be celebrating tonight.
Yeah,
little 80s flash,
right?
Little food, little fun, little karaoke,
right?
Little alcohol. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's my daughter's, my wife's birthday. So a little celebration. So just have a real great time and family, friends.
Right.
Gonna pretend to be somebody else.
Yes, somebody else. Somebody else. Graham Michelle, what you got going on?
We didn't have enough time to do this, but because of these dope ladies, but I also want to take the time out to say prayers and condolences to the family of Jovita Moore, WSB TV anchor. If you're listening from other parts of the world right now, she unfortunately passed away yesterday overnight, and we want to send our love from this station and our platform out to their platform. Yes. And thank you to Tom Jones for actually acknowledging our prayers and condolences as well. We appreciate her and the energy and love that she brought to our television sets for the last since 1998. So I just wanted to say that.
Jovita, rest in peace into her family. So she was a great asset to Atlanta. Yes. And of course, you all can follow me on all platforms. I am TrinetteLCollier.com. Stay connected. I got a big major announcement on Tuesday for Truth Moment Tuesday. Again, my life got it. Continues to redirect my life and taking me in another direction. So stay connected on Tuesday. Have another major announcement coming. And then, of course, it's November.
Here we go.
It's November. Now. So I'm going to flood your lines. Okay, I'm going to flood your timeline.
You a Scorpio? Trinette, you a Scorpio?
Paris.
Oh, okay. I'm a Scorpio. My birthday's coming up November 6th.
That's what I'm talking about. November. Y'all just don't understand. November is here, baby. Like, just get used to it. Y'all know November come every year. Stop acting.
March will be here before you know it.
We ain't talking about March.
Yeah, whatever.
We talking about November.
Yeah, whatever.
Moving forward. Anyway, cut off this mic. Internet to
I can't put on my as a tourist, I'm just gonna sit here and watch.
You know what I'm saying? Bye, y'all. We're out. Love y'all.
Saturday mornings, I'm tuned in. Listen in to TaShon, she be going in, y'all. Black queen for us black kings. We can learn a thing or two when we're locked in. One of the few places we can't be heard. Facts, man, I rocks with her, that's my word. The show is enlightening, engagement always enticing. I always come with an open mind, I'm never frightened, y'all. Guaranteed to walk away from in the rules. That I'm thinking everything else is minuscule. We're the fools who don't protect black women. No argument, disrespect, and that's it, y'all. Please come in peace when you call in, y'all, cause the friends ain't no slouch fair born in. Use God, messages from him. Y'all better listen if you wanna win the life, y'all. You wanna win the life, tune in to TaShon the friends. You got mail messages from him, just from him. Yeah, you've got mail messages from him, just from him. 10 a.m. to noon, Saturdays. Tune in. Yeah. You've got mail messages from him, just from him.